Today we're going to have a guest speaker, and Kevin Ueckert is going to speak on the character word of the month, which is
respect.
Respect, exactly. Kevin is a coach for us at D1. He coaches with our rookie classes. He's also the pastor at Southside Baptist, and he is a role model for all of us at D1 and a true friend for us. So everybody give him a welcome and give him your utmost attention and respect.
Hey, glad to see you guys. I know several of you, and I love seeing you out here working out. It's fun seeing you guys work up a sweat, and you ladies working up a sweat out there working. It's awesome. And I think most of you really like D1, or I'm assuming you wouldn't be coming because it's not exactly pain-free all the time. But I really love coming up here to D1, and part of the reason I love coming up here is because I get to develop relationships with other people. I get to see you guys and say hi to you, how are things going, and I get to develop relationships with my rookies and some of the adults in the classes, and I like that. Something else I like about D1 is I like the results that the workouts bring in my life. I like the results that I'm seeing in you guys' lives. I mean, do y'all see the results? You're getting better, aren't you? And it's pretty cool to see those results. And you've made a choice to be here. And I like that you've made the choice to be here. And I think it's really cool that the coaches here at D1, when you walk in the doors, they actually do care about you and where you are with your physical athleticism. They really care about where you are. And they look at where you are and they want you to become better. And so they see you just as you are, where you are, what they have to work with, but they also see what you can become. And they have a vision for you being better. And I love that. And I think that's very respectable. I mean, when you come here and you work with these coaches, you don't find it hard to respect them because they really do care about you and care about you getting better. I think that's respectable. When you think about respect, respect is showing admiration for someone, showing regard, or showing value for someone. That's what respect is. And every single one of us need respect. You guys need food, you need shelter, you need a family, you need belonging. You have certain needs that are just part of your life. And one of your needs is respect. You have that need. And I want to talk about how you go about respect in your life, getting that need met. All right? You can choose in your life to go about taking care of respect by making sure that you pursue being respected by people around you, that you really want to get respect. And so you do things to be noticed by people so that they'll say, hey, I noticed what he did and I really think that was cool. You make sure that people see what you do well and you will be recognized by them. You want them to say something nice about you. If you have an opinion, you want them to agree with you. You want them to tell other people about your opinion. You begin to base everything you're doing on people seeing you and liking and approving what you're doing. And pretty soon, everything about your life is based on you and what people think about it. You know what I've found out in life? If you live your life just trying to get respect from other people, getting other people to like you or approve of you or to think you're special and great, that you don't really end up getting all of that what you were trying to get. It just doesn't work out. And really what that ends up being is a fast way to not having a very fun and fulfilling life when you're concerned about what other people think. However, you can decide to do something different, something better. Instead of making your life all about getting people's respect, you can decide that you want to give people respect. That's two choices that you have. You either live your life trying to get people to think good of you, or you can live your life giving respect to others, showing value and admiration, regard for other people around you. And I'm not talking about respecting people that you think you should respect because you like them or you approve of what they do or they're nice to you. I'm not talking about just respecting those you think deserve respect. I'm talking about respecting people even if they don't deserve respect. Making your life about giving respect to others. That's not easy to do, is it? I mean, do you have people in your life that you don't want to respect? Say something bad to you, do something you don't like, you don't want to respect them? That's hard to do. But if you can decide that other people are valuable because God created them, then you can show them respect. And then if you'll decide that you want to look and see, man, what could they become if they really understood just how much they are valued because God created them? If you begin to look at people like that, hey, they're valuable because God created them. I want to show them the way I act towards them that they're valuable. And I hope that they can understand, maybe by what I do, that they really are valuable. And guess what? If somebody can get their value a little bit more, it just might change who they are. In fact, I'm convinced that if you live your life giving respect, that it'll actually give you something better than people's respect. It'll allow you to see maybe a little bit more about your own value. And if you understand a little bit more about your own value, that really is the kind of respect that you really need. You can live your life trying to get respect, but I would encourage you to live your life giving respect. To give respect instead of being all about getting respect. One of my heroes in my life was my grandfather. And man, he was, I loved him, I respected him. He was an incredible man in my life. Just a hero. He was a farmer and rancher. And he lived outside of Abilene, outside of a little town like a crossroads in the middle of nowhere called Noodle, Texas. Anybody in here heard of Noodle? Yeah, some of you guys? I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. And that's where he grew up and farmed and ranched out there and spent his life on that ranch. Well, when I was 16 years old, any of you 16 in here? 16, 15, 16, 17? Okay, when I was 16, my grandfather died of a heart attack. And he was one of my best friends. Incredibly important to me. My mom and dad had divorced, and my dad wasn't living at home. And any of you come from divorced families? Anybody in here like that? That's how I was. And so my grandfather was so important to me. And when he died, it was very traumatic. I mean, I was really, really heartbroken. But I'll never forget when I went to his funeral. We went to the church where the funeral was. And I was sitting there waiting for the funeral to begin, and people just kept pouring into that service. I mean, just stacking in there. And pretty soon there wasn't a seat left in the entire church. And then pretty soon there were people standing out in the foyer. And there was standing room only. And I kept thinking, how in the world does some guy who's a simple farmer and rancher out in the middle of nowhere pack out a church at his funeral? How does that happen? And I'll tell you how it happened. Because he lived his life giving respect instead of trying to get respect. And so this whole church was full of people that respected him. But you know what his real reward was? It wasn't a church full of people that respected him. His real reward was that in some way, his life made every one of their lives a little bit better. And I'm convinced if you'll decide that you want to live your life showing others respect, whether they deserve it or not, that you just might experience something as amazing as helping others' lives be a little bit different. You know, Jesus in Matthew chapter 7, he said, "Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you." That's a great way to think about what it means to live a life of respect. So do that. It'll make a difference. All right? Thanks, guys.